Hey everybody, Monty Reed here. Just wanted to touch base with you guys. We are still raising money for the new research lab for They Shall Walk, and the newest version of the LIFESUIT is so exciting. I can't wait to show you. We have to finish some testing before you can actually see it, but the thing that's going to be really awesome about the new version of the LIFESUIT is it's a sport model. It's a non-medical device, so literally could be used by anyone just to augment strength, like most exoskeletons that have ever been developed through science fiction and reality have all been for amplification of strength. My focus on the research has always been to help paralyzed people to walk, and also people that have other mobility issues so that they can walk better. And the newest version of the suit is literally a non-medical device. It's just we call it the sport model. Also, Doug coined the phrase FunSuit, and that's all caps. And the FunSuit could be used by anyone, and it just so happens that they'll probably be, most of the people using it will be paralyzed folks, but they'll be for children as well as adults. But imagine this, there's a video shot, and it's maybe a drone shot coming from above a soccer field, and there's all these wheelchairs, 30 or 40 wheelchairs around the sidelines, and there's a bunch of kids out there playing. And it looks like maybe these kids are just going to be watching the whole time. But what happens is the regular kids are done playing, and they come off the field, and then the paralyzed kids get out of their wheelchairs because they're all wearing these fun suits. And they go right out onto the soccer field and play without any limitations whatsoever. The new version of the LIFESUIT is intuitive. We call it semi-autonomous. Many years ago, I developed a semi-autonomous radio-controlled robot, and it was basically a radio-controlled car. And the way we started the research was the handheld radio control would send a signal to the car. The signal would arrive, and then it would go to the microcontroller, and the microcontroller would take the remote controls as a suggestion. And then we could run software that would check for obstacle avoidance, et cetera, et cetera. So basically, use that primitive version of a semi-autonomous remote control car. The remote control car would make sure it would not go off of a curb, would not smash through walls, would not, basically not harm the person riding along in the LIFESUIT. And we did the test bed was this remote control car. And so every remote signal sent to it was not a command, but a suggestion. And then, of course, all the safety protocols would be run to make sure that it was safe. And so because of that, we have this foundation for the semi-autonomous control system. And then using a telemetry suit, which you've probably seen more in a lot of CGI in development of video games as well as movies, where the actors wear these dots all over them, and then there's motion capture. Well, we use that same technology to program the robot to walk, to stand, to dance, to kick the soccer ball, to catch the soccer ball with your feet, spin it around, kick it in the other direction, all of those different things. And basically with motion capture, we'll be capturing all of the motions of standard soccer players. And I'm hoping that we'll get some famous, well-known, award-winning soccer players to wear the telemetry device motion for the powered suits. And then those powered suits, they can run around the or with a kid in it. And then obviously once it's safe, then the kid will think about kicking the soccer ball, and they'll look at the soccer ball, and then the software will basically closest to our AI as possible. I mean, everyone's throwing around the term. But anyway, we'll just say, because it's a famous, popular buzzword, AI, using the AI of the software, will recognize the soccer ball, grab the recording of catching the soccer ball with your foot and turning around and kicking it, and that it'll just grab that routine from the library and play it back. And so with the intuitive sensor devices that'll be on the FunSuit version of the LIFESUIT, then a paralyzed child or adult will be able to go out on the soccer field and play without any limitations. And I just say soccer. I'm wearing a soccer shirt, so that's what I think of it today. And but it will be available for any sport: soccer, baseball, football, golf, ice skating, downhill skiing, all that sort of thing. I did some telemetry recordings on the ski slopes myself a few years ago. It was a lot of fun. We used to have a ski a-thon up at Snoqualmie. That was a lot of fun. And but just recorded some telemetry data for use in future. But it's just, it's so exciting to realize here we are in 2019. I came up with this idea back in 1986, 33 years ago. And when I came up with the idea, I thought it was for me. I didn't know that I was going to be able to walk again. I didn't know I was going to be able to do all of these things. I do still have issues. It hurts to breathe. But I'm happy to be alive. I got nothing to complain about. And I'm so excited, so blessed to be raising the money now for the new research lab. Imagine Tony Stark's lab on steroids. So, that's our new lab is going to be like that. And our price tag right now with buying everything at cost at wholesale, we got a lot of sponsors donating stuff. It's going to run about $200 million. And that's not a problem. With that $200 million, we will be able to get those LIFESUITs and FunSuits developed and find somebody else to manufacture. As you know, research. We do the research, we publish, and there's over a dozen companies now that manufacture the LIFESUITs. They have different names for them, and that's fine because our goal is never to make money. Our goal is to give the gift of walking. They Shall Walk is a nonprofit medical research company, one of the first of its kind. The first of its kind. Typically, medical research is a lot of dollars, costs a lot of money, and then that price tag is spun down right to the retail where a Band-Aid costs you $37 at the hospital. And so the whole idea of They Shall Walk, the nonprofit medical research company, was to develop technology, publish the data, and get it out there. And so we've not received any government funds directly. I personally got a NASA space grant scholarship a couple of times, and so they could say quasi-government money, but that wasn't given to They Shall Walk. That was a grant to me specifically for my research on the LIFESUIT, and I continue to do that work. I work as a consultant, so if you have any problems out there that need to be solved, I can help solve the problems, and I'm probably not qualified, but what I do is you outline the problem, how much the problem is costing you, and if it were solved, how much it would save you, and how much you think it's going to cost you to solve the problem. My track record has been that I've been able to solve your problem for about a third of the cost of what it normally would be. And if you're not really sure, you can just do 3 ounces of gold? 3 ounces of gold or 5,000 cash for just a first day, and we can talk about longer contracts if you'd like. A lot of projects need me a few hours a month. It could be a few hours a year. It could be just a one-time, 10 or 20 hours and we're done. But we're more than happy to work with you on that and know that every dollar that comes in is going to help me to continue that research to give the gift of walking to the paralyzed people around the world. This is Monty Reed for They Shall Walk. Just wanted to talk to you a little bit about paralyzed kids will play soccer. It's very soon. It's just right around the corner. It's kind of interesting because I recently heard a rumor, a research guy was saying, well, doesn't Monty know that the government's already built exoskeletons? I was like, well, yeah, of course he knows it. I met with the general. Read my book. You'll see the story about the general in charge of all Army research and how I met with him. And of course, the government's done it. There's over $20 million worth of grants. The first time I heard about government funding, I applied, didn't get a penny. They gave grants to all these other people, and we could have, I think with duct tape, baling wire, and a little bubble gum, we did more for about $35,000 than some of these guys did with $1 million in grant money, because we are all volunteer, and our mission is not to make money. Our mission is to give the gift of walking to the world. And you can help. You can make a donation online to theyshallwalk.org. Just go there. You can find us on Facebook. And you can write a check. You can do PayPal. You can make a donation. You can tell people about it. And if you're really excited about this, you can be an advocate in your own neighborhood. If you have a family member, a friend who's paralyzed, and you want them to have one of these FunSuits or one of the LIFESUITs, You can be in charge of fundraising specifically for one person that you want. You can be their sponsor. You can help them get a LIFESUIT. Right now, there's a dozen manufacturers that make these machines, and there's over 300 paralyzed people that are using them every day now instead of wheelchairs, including a doctor in Eastern Washington. And for as little as $150,000, a paralyzed person can walk, and you can help them. We're also raising money to put these exoskeletons in hospitals and physical therapy clinics around the world. So there's two ways that they're currently available. One is personal use that you use at home every day instead of a wheelchair, and that's the best way. In theory, if you were to use it 8 hours a day for 2 years, an average of 80% of paralyzed people could learn to walk again. You get mobility and passive physical therapy and occupational therapy all at the same time. And of course, the new FunSuit, it's going to be amazing because the advanced version of the FunSuit actually has gauntlet gloves. So you can actually put a piano player in the telemetry suit and a paralyzed person in the powered suit, and they can play the piano together. And it's all going to be linked to brain-computer interface, BCI. There's all kinds of names for neuroconnective interface and brain-computer interface. And back in 1986, when I had a vision, a dream, there was this little thing that came down, and it was just tapped right into the frontal lobe through a thing that looked kind of like a Bluetooth headset. But this was in 86, before they had any of those. And I call it a lobe node. And it just picks up on the magnetic field of your brainwaves, because wherever there's electric current, there's a magnetic field. And that was the whole idea. So